Global happenings today. We communicate. We analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello, good people. Welcome back to our channel. State of emergency in Rivers State has continued to trigger multiple reactions from Nigeria, starting from the politician to CSOs to former governors, lawyers, give it the names, advocate of Nigeria. All of them are reacting to it. But interestingly, the president seems not to be reacting to it, but he has decided to pick on Jonathan and Soyinka to speak about what they say. The big question is, what did Jonathan actually say that had made the president to give more explanation to what actually happened and why he decided to take the action he took? Let's listen to the two persons speak in a video. You get to hear what former president of Nigeria, Goodluck Jonathan, and Ijoman have to say about the state of emergency in Rivers State and why sometimes he tries not to reply or to talk about it. And we'll be back to talk more.
In the country, in most cases, look at America, look at everywhere. So hardly for former presidents to make sometimes you see and you look. And of course, what is happening in Nigeria today regarding the situation in Rivers State is like an Indian proverb that said that if somebody is sleeping, really sleeping, you can easily wake up that person. But if the person is pretending to sleep, you find it difficult to wake up that person. The key actors in Nigeria, from executive to the legislature, luckily Senator Binta and others are here, and the judiciary, they know the correct thing to do. But they are refusing to do it. They are pretending to sleep. And waking such a person is extremely difficult because the person knows the right thing. A clear abuse of offices, clear abuse of power, clear abuse of privileges, cutting across from the three arms of government, from the executive through the parliament through the judiciary. And I always plead with our people that whatever we do affects everybody. And sometimes we do things and we think that it doesn't affect us. I've been a president before, and even after leaving office as a former president, people get to me. Why is that our passport is not valued that much? Why is that Nigerians are not given the kind of treatment we're supposed to receive at the international airports? Sometimes we think it's because of Yahoo boys or 419ers. No, not only them. Yes, they are part of the problem. But whatever happens in a country, decisions that are taken by the executive arm of government, decisions that are taken by the parliament, judicial decisions affect everybody. For example, no businessman can bring his money to invest in a country where the judiciary is compromised, where a government functionary can dictate to judges what judgment they will give. No man brings his money to invest in that country because they are taking a big risk. So whatever we do affects everybody. And if we must build a nation for our children and our grandchildren, no matter how painful it is, we must strive to do what is right. It may cost us, but we must endeavor and pay the price to insist on doing what is right. Whether you're holding an executive office as a president, a minister, or a governor, or a special advisor, or executive, whether you're holding an office in the parliament, senate, or rep, whether you're a judicial officer at the high courts or appellate courts, we must strive to do what is right. If we want to build a nation that our children will be proud of.
Now, similarly, the Nobel laureate Wole Soyinka had expressed concern about the declaration, stating that it undermines the spirit of federalism. And when he was speaking to the Africa report, Soyinka argued that the manner in which the state of emergency was declared betrayed the principle of federalism enshrined in Nigerian Constitution. He noted that the 1999 Constitution granted excess power to the president and called for a national discussion on the matter to address this concern. Now, reacting to the criticism, let's get to hear the position of the presidency as made known by the senior special assistant to the presidency on media and publicity, talking about Temitope Ajayi. And Ajayi, first of all, acknowledged the respected status of both Jonathan and Soyinka, but clarified that their opinions were personal. Ajayi maintained that the action taken by President Tinubu were in line with the provision of Nigerian Constitution, specifically Section 305, which granted the president authority to declare a state of emergency. But the part that he talked about, which I just want us to look at, was when he said that President Tinubu has a duty to preserve the corporate existence of Nigeria, that he wouldn't allow any part of the country or state to descend into chaos, that the Supreme Court ruled that there is no functioning government in Rivers State known to the Constitution of Nigeria. President Tinubu won't fail in his sacred duty to protect and preserve the country, which means whatever the president did was traceable to the verdict of the Supreme Court, which says that there is no functioning government in Rivers State known to the Constitution. In other words, that possibly Fubara was running kind of dictatorial government. But then, my colleagues in the House, and we just want to talk about this.
All right, the truth be told, the former president of Nigeria, Goodluck Jonathan, nailed it on the head. What else again? We all know the truth. The painful aspect of this whole thing is the fact that someone like Fubara made it even more exposed by showing us the corruption and decadence in our three arms. We can, just like we've noticed over time, we've noticed that just like the person of Jonathan, former president of Nigeria, have rightly said, a situation where an investor will come in, he knows, unfortunately, that if he wants a ruling, all the government needs to do is to tweak it and they will get the ruling in their favor. Who want to come and invest? And so is the case of Nigerians. Now the president is saying that it's because of the ruling of the Supreme Court that gave him the mandate to do what he did, meaning that all the Supreme Court needed to do was to tweak it a little, interpret the Constitution a little more to suit what they wanted, and the executive, use that opportunity to do what they feel was right. Obviously, from all indication, all eyes have always been on Rivers. And the legislative arm didn't even need to go through the proper voting system. They used a voice recording and the eyes have it, and everything just wrapped up using the quoting of the Constitution, but not necessarily interpreting the nitty-gritty. For how long are we going to be living in self-deception? Even if the leaders will say they have done well and they're following the Constitution, just as Nigerians are watching, the whole world is also watching. And you will go cap in hand, begging investors to come into Nigeria. Nigeria is green, Nigeria is fresh, Nigeria is ready for investment, the people are ready. But the question is, does the system of government or the arms of government, does it, in all honesty, will it protect investors out there that will be coming in? We can't, just like the former president have said, I know as usual they will always say, just like the presidency have said, that is the opinion of the
that's exactly what he said.
The opinion of both Soyinka and Jonathan, and everybody's entitled to their opinion. We are gradually destroying the democracy that many heroes past built. All it took is just one statement from the president, and everything in our economy went haywire. Subsidy is gone. Nigeria have not recovered from that statement. Just the same thing that's going to happen by the time we allow corruption to come on full fledged. We will begin to reward corruption with an honorary degree. And those who truly deserve it are probably languishing in jail. Where those who go steal, they give them chieftaincy title and they give them positions in leadership. And those who work so hard are called mumu. You can imagine someone like Fubara who decided to follow peace. What did one Osike call him? Mumu governor. Why? Because he was not aggressive. He didn't take it by force. He did not, tweak the constitution to keep himself, keep himself as the governor. He decided to follow the rule of law anyhow it is being interpreted. And what was his reward? Momo governor. What was his reward? State of emergency. I say this without mentioning word. If Wike was the governor of Rivers State, would Tinubu dare to put state of emergency in Rivers? Would he dare?
He would never think it. He wouldn't even think
but
it.
Because Fubara is that person who wants to be law-abiding, the same thing that happened to Goodluck and Jonathan. And what did the presidency say? It's your opinion. They have gotten used to, like one clergyman said, I can't forget his statement, it hit me so hard. He said, in a situation where the leaders of a country do not get scared, they're no longer afraid, they no longer care if the opinion of the citizens, if there will be an uproar or not, he said that state is gone. In a situation where the leader do things without caring the response of their citizenry, then we no longer have a state. Because usually, when there's an uproar, reverse back the rule of law, reverse back the state declaration of state of emergency. By now, they would have done something about it. The presidency would have had an emergency meeting, and they'll say, okay, due to the uproar, this one, they don't care. Even all the governors are talking, senior advocates of Nigeria are talking, MBA, Falanas and the rest, Mike Ozehume and the rest, Inibegez them and the rest, Sowore, all of them activists, Yesufu, Aisha Yusuf, all of them are talking. Former governors like Rotimi Amechi, they are all talking, and they're saying it's just your personal opinion, even to the point that the person of Soyinka spoke. It's your personal opinion. It's over. So what again can we use as check? So let's tell ourselves the truth. We may not like this, but the truth be told, the world is watching. And probably one of these days, they will get the reactions they're looking for.
All right, let's leave it.